a unique argument being made in the Bradley-Manning trial that if you release information to the internet, in other words, you release information, period, everything goes on the internet, you have released it to the enemy. Now wait a minute, the whole world's on the internet. It's the World Wide Web. Apparently the world is the enemy according to the United States government. Of course, Bradley-Manning is the person who leaked to WikiLeaks, and we found out an incredible amount of information that the government didn't want us to find out, but that the American people should know about. For example, the government knew that we had 15,000 more civilian casualties in Iraq than anybody was admitting. The government knew it. They didn't want to admit it because they wanted to seem like, oh, the Iraq war is going really well. Well, in a democracy, if we're going to make decisions on what we should do next with the Iraq war, we need to know that information. And of course, there was the Apache helicopter video, and there was video and information, I should say, regarding Tunisia and Egypt that partly led to those revolutions. Incredibly important information and overall positive for the world, but of course, he's a whistleblower. He must be annihilated. But not only are they charging him with crimes of releasing that information that he had access to, which is understandable, and by the way, he has pled guilty to about 10 counts where he says, yes, I did release that information, and I'm willing to suffer the consequences for it. Again, an incredibly brave act by Bradley-Manning. But no, that's not enough for the avaricious U.S. government. All whistleblowers must be annihilated. So they're charging him with aiding the enemy. And if you aid the enemy, that's a life sentence. Now, as Matt Sledge from Huffington Post explains, here's how the trial is going. They say, despite the 3 years it took to bring Manning to trial, government investigators have not been able to turn up any smoking gun to prove that Manning knew the leaks would wind up in the hands of those such as Osama bin Laden. Now, in order to show that you're aiding the enemy, you have to actually give the information to the enemy. So now here, who really thinks Bradley-Manning thought, man, I'd love to give this to bin Laden personally, but I don't know how to do that, so I'm just going to give it to WikiLeaks and hope that he gives it to bin Laden. Nobody believes that. Nobody. The prosecutor doesn't believe that. It's inconceivable that anybody thinks that. But it doesn't matter. It's the U.S. government. It must do overkill. And they've decided to destroy Bradley-Manning. So they're going to pretend that his leak to the American people was actually intended for bin Laden. They have no smoking gun. But so how are they going to do it? They're going to do it like this. They say, instead, the prosecutors lowered the bar dramatically, arguing that Manning is guilty of aiding the enemy charge because he knew that Al-Qaeda has access to the internet and to WikiLeaks in particular. That's awesome. Well, if you have access to the internet, well, that's it. Okay. Anytime you put anything on the internet, Al-Qaeda has access to it. That comment you just left on this video, Al-Qaeda has access to it. You're aiding the enemy. Does it help Al-Qaeda? I don't know. It doesn't matter. They didn't prove that it helped Al-Qaeda. There's no record at all of Bradley-Manning's information that was released leading to harm of anyone in the U.S. military. Nothing in our armed forces, nothing, never been proved, right? And let alone that it materially helped Al-Qaeda, nonsense, right? It's on the internet though. By the way, Bob Woodward not only wrote books from inside the Bush and Obama administration, but released in those books, through leaks of administration officials, top secret information that was higher classification than what Bradley-Manning released. And we know because bin Laden said on a tape, I heard the information from Bob Woodward's book and then referred to it in something that he was saying in the tape. That's it. It went to Al-Qaeda. Bob Woodward's book was on the internet and it went to Al-Qaeda. Why isn't Bob Woodward in jail right now facing a life sentence? Oh, he leaked stuff that the government wanted out, even though it had a higher classification. It was top secret. The hypocrisy is outrageous. Where the hell's the rest of the press? Where are you? Where are you? You're sitting there defending Bob Woodward, you defended the Bush administration, you're defending the Obama administration, and Bradley-Manning, you know, people thought, oh, well, you know, when the trial gets going, he might be seen like a hero. Who's going to do that? CNN? CNN, that stool, that's stoogey, I don't even know if those are words. those guys who are selling out to the government, they're not going to call Bradley-Manning a hero. CNN hates Bradley-Manning. Their job is to help protect the establishment. So look at how broad this is. Matt Sledge continues. And it seems just as obvious that Al-Qaeda officials would visit the WikiLeaks page from time to time, just as they would read Twitter, the New York Times, or Al Jazeera. Okay, you put anything in the New York Times, you leak to the New York Times? Well, there goes all investigative journalism. If you leak to them, Al-Qaeda can read the New York Times online. That's it. Aiding the enemy, life sentence. Unless, of course, you leak something like Woodward and all those other reporters that are favorable to the government, right? This is sick. This is a police state. Last quote. Press freedom advocates claim the charge could be used to give a severe sentence to anyone who uploads sensitive information on the internet. By the government's own admission, it would have made no difference if Manning had given his 700,000 files to the New York Times instead of WikiLeaks. So, one last question for you. If you're a whistleblower and you know the government's doing something illegal, right? And by the way, the Apache helicopter video showed that we murdered reporters on the ground. And then when first responders came to rescue the victims, we also shot them. Now that's illegal. That's illegal. That's a war crime, right? If you reveal that, you're a whistleblower. You've revealed illegal activity of the government. That's exactly what a whistleblower is. Well, if you reveal that to the U.S. citizens, you also reveal it to Al-Qaeda. So there is literally no way that you could be a whistleblower without facing a life sentence. And then they turn around and say, oh, why didn't Snowden come to the U.S. and face charges? Who would voluntarily submit themselves to this tyrannical American government that it says, if you release information of my crimes, I'll put you in jail for life? And by the way, Snowden also revealed illegal activity by the NSA. They are in violation of Section 215 of the Patriot Act. They're also in violation of the FISA Amendment Law of 2008. They're the ones that are doing something illegal. But now there's an international manhunt for Snowden because he revealed that illegality. And then people turn around and go, despite what's happening to Bradley Manning, 3 years before he even got a trial, what happened to a speedy trial? Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, Eighth Amendment, all gone, all out the window, right? And put in isolation, solitary confinement for close to 9 months, stripped naked every night. But gee, I wonder why Snowden didn't turn himself in. Come on, he released information to our enemies. If you put something on the internet, obviously you meant to help Al-Qaeda. That's a charge the United States government is making right now in open court. We've lost our ever-loving minds. Here's what we've actually lost: the government. We have lost the American government.